The fire person was on the subway when half of their head was doused with water. Quickly, her husband pulled out a piece of tree branch and put it into her mouth to replenish her energy. After that, the fire person finally recovered to normal. The fire couple arrived at the bustling elemental town, where three kinds of residents lived: the aquas, who could freely enter various places; the woods, kind-hearted with lush hair; and the clouds, light-bodied and fragile. As the first fire element pair to move in, the couple found it hard to be accepted by others. Fortunately, they discovered a rundown wooden house. Despite its remote location, they were very satisfied with it. One night, the couple had their first child, Miss Flame. Before long, more fire people moved into Elemental Town, prompting the fire couple to transform their house into a supermarket. Days passed, and the fire couple wanted their adult daughter, Flame, to take over the shop. However, she had a fiery temper and would sometimes explode at unreasonable customers, even blasting the counter to bits. One day, as the annual big sale approached, Flame volunteered to take on all the work. When the doors opened, everything spiraled out of control. Just before total collapse, she covered her mouth and hid in the basement. Accidentally, she damaged the water pipes. Flame grabbed an umbrella and tried to approach, using her hands to weld the big hole. She couldn't help but curse when suddenly, a water person appeared on the surface. He had been repairing the pipes and got sucked in by the water flow to this place. Since Flame's house was illegally built, he immediately issued a fine. Flame reluctantly chased after him. Later, to help Flame overturn her father's shop penalty, the water person approached his leader. The leader said the whole town was leaking water, and if they solved it, the fine would be cancelled immediately. Flame took the water person to the rooftop and made a makeshift hot air balloon. They ascended into the sky and spotted the source of the leak. There was a large hole in the river gate where a ship was docked, causing seawater to gush out. They had to turn back as the situation escalated. The water person and the flood merged. If it hadn't been for Flame pulling him, the poor water person would have been swept away. They had to temporarily block the hole with sandbags. After the crisis was averted, a grain of sand stuck to the water person's face. Flame wanted to help him remove it, but hesitated due to their elemental differences. This experience brought them closer. The water person asked Flame out on a date. Although she initially refused, she showed up at the meeting place the next day. They watched a movie together and took photos. Unfortunately, they got too close to the lens, resulting in overexposure. Flame took the photo home and felt the sweetness of love. However, her fire father despised the water person and made him taste his charcoal balls upon their first meeting. The scalding charcoal caused the water person discomfort, and he couldn't help but spit out a huge water ball. Upon contact with Flame's father, the water ball turned into steam. The father enjoyed the interaction and added a few freshly made balls, raising the temperature even higher. The water person reluctantly ate a few and ended up being heated into hot water. In the end, Flame's father still didn't approve of him and even placed the water person on the shop's blacklist. At night, Flame and the water person went to the seaside to make more sandbags to repair the breach. The water person was surprised to find that Flame's superheated body could melt sand into glass. At the same time, a daring idea popped into Flame's mind. She touched the sandbag with her hand, and after a dazzling burst of fire, the sand melted into liquid glass. Flame used her imagination to shape the glass, creating crystalline structures comparable to artworks. The leaders were highly impressed and promptly canceled the fine on Flame's house. Unexpectedly, as soon as they returned home, Flame's mother caught them red-handed. She couldn't believe her daughter's mysterious boyfriend was actually a water person.